I'm outside of a beautiful new project that we're debuting today. This is the Gable House. It is traditional, filled with symmetry, and I am so excited to share this style of home with you. So this is sofa, and then you're gonna wanna go around the back of the chairs to go outside instead of come in through here. That's more my concern, the sticky hands on the back of the chair in and out. I feel like it needs to end here. So if you're good with that, we'll just shrink the size of the sofa a little bit. The arches are now the right shape. Those look really pretty. I probably wouldn't go any farther forward on the sectional. And then we were looking at the bedding. I just wanted to change the front pillow to something a little bit not cream. So cute. I think that the ceiling feels great in here.
I love it.
It's bigger than my closet. Sure. Yeah.
So it is install week, a little chaotic, but in the best way. It honestly feels like Christmas morning, opening all these boxes and seeing the things that we've designed come to life. We typically lay down rug pads and then rugs and then larger pieces of furniture. The second day we get smaller pieces, a lot of styling will start to happen, things that feel like the home is coming together.
We're about halfway through the install here, but Shay is in California doing a photo shoot, so we're gonna FaceTime her instead and walk through the house with her. Hi, Shay.
How's it going over there?
It's looking really good. There's definitely a lot of people on site. We're working around it. The mirror is really pretty.
Looks amazing. Get centered and then hung.
Yeah.
It needs to be filled more to balance out the size of the mirror to me. Oh my gosh, there are a lot of people.
It's a lot.
The photos you sent me didn't quite give that vibe, and so I... The nightstands look too tall in relation to the bed. I think we need to figure out a plan B there.
Everything kind of feels
Smaller.
small.
Okay.
Okay, this laundry room at the moment is just a moment of zen.
It's looking really good. Send me another update at the end of the day. Okay, awesome. Thanks so much. See ya. Bye. That's gonna be really fun for you guys.
My favorite part of every install week is to watch the cabinet hardware go onto all of the cabinets that we've designed. I think that designers always joke that it's the jewelry in the space, but when you see it happen live, it really starts to feel that way.
One challenge that we've had to work through this week was in this girls' room. We originally had nightstands that were maybe a little too high, so we moved the beds over. We'll do one white round nightstand on each side of the bed.
We have been constantly checking in with Shay, sending photos every night, FaceTiming throughout the week. She's going to be coming through in person today so that we can walk through and make any last adjustments.
Okay, you guys ready for last looks?
Yes.
All right, yeah, we gotta do a good dusting before the clients come on Monday, but it does look really good. It looks great. The mirror, still spectacular. This looks good. I mean, like the color here with this even, it's perfect. I love this bathroom. It's cute. We've lowered this. Are we feeling good about it? Still feels like it needs to go then now back up, huh? I love this movement over here. Okay, living room looks awesome. I love the updates on the styling. This is the thing that I like the center of this and then move that. Look at the, Leah, you see the dog bath? It's really cute, huh? Oh my gosh, Ivy told her teacher, what did you tell her yesterday? My mom said we'll never get a dog in 100 million years. Just gonna peek at how jealous I am of their closet. Yeah, I love the change of the artwork there. It looks good. They're gonna be ecstatic. While the home certainly is traditional, we wanted to make sure that it also reflected the young family that lives here. They have East Coast roots, and you'll see that throughout every single selection throughout the home. In a home with traditional architecture like this, having a formal foyer really sets the tone for the entire home. So you open the door, this chandelier is centered in the space and then grounded by our Roslin Rug from McGee & Co. This is our #1 selling rug at McGee & Co. People just love the soft blue tone. We did this amazing still life artwork. It's a fuchsia color in the florals, a blue and white ginger jar, and you'll see those details come in other spaces of the home. Topiaries will make an appearance in this home a few times because it just fits the style. I had my heart set on doing a massive ornate mirror in this entryway. So we did just that. We also had room in the corner for a little seating area. So we did our Clemens chair from McGee & Co. in a custom upholstery fabric. It's really exciting to me when clients just go for things because it's one of the first things that people comment on when they walk into the front door. Just off the foyer, the powder bathroom makes a memorable first impression. It's a small space, but a meaningful one that sets the tone right from the start. The office is a pretty stark contrast against the foyer. We have dark green paneling, a plaid wallpaper. It's very Ralph Lauren inspired. Behind the desk area, we had room for a sofa. And instead of doing a contrast against the deep green paint color, we just leaned into that tone and we did the Barden sofa from McGee & Co. in a dark green velvet. We wrapped the entire room in this dark paint color and then we just layered depth on top of that. This living room is truly the center of the home. It connects everything together and we wanted the design in here to reflect the exterior architecture, traditional and relaxed. And there's a lot of pattern mixing, but we have a traditional tight palette of different shades of blue, ranging from light to navy, tans, soft tones. And we did that intentionally so that we got that more traditional look. And then we anchored the living room with a custom plaid ottoman. This is perfect to put your feet up, great with kids, they can jump off of it. It has storage below, and then we put a big seagrass tray in the middle, and that allows you to use it as both a coffee table and an ottoman. So we did a bleached jute, and then we layered a navy blue traditional rug on top. And then I love this because this could lean formal or it could lean casual depending on how you styled it. And I think we brought the two styles together really well in this living room. So flanking the fireplace, we have built-ins, and we did the tongue and groove from the ceiling on the back of these built-ins. We did this really pretty drop pulls, and then we wanted all those navies and blues to come into the upholstery and the pattern mixing in the center of the room. And then we kept this to creams and tans and very soft on the outside edges. One thing that I wanted to point out is this coffered ceiling runs the space from living all the way to kitchen. And so a lot of the alignment in our layout of the living room is based off of that. You get one line from fireplace to range. We've centered the light fixture, and same with the seating arrangement around it, as well as making sure that we kept this sofa centered on the door system that leads you outside, which is where we'll head next. This patio has so many fun exclusive pieces from McGee & Co. I love that the bluestone and the brick are carried throughout their backyard, and then they even have a raised hot tub that they incorporated. This layout allows this young family to feel connected to the living and the dining room, and everyone is involved. We did a blue island that connects to the blue tones that you see in the living room and other spaces in the home. I want to call attention to the island details. So there is this panel style on the leg, but on the profile here, we have a reeded detail that wraps the side of the island. Glass cabinets by the fridge freezer, and this allows us to display and store functional pieces. We did a cream color on, it kind of has a taupey undertone. So it's slightly darker than the walls, and we carried that around the outside edges of this kitchen. We did flush inset cabinetry on all the walls, and we did a really pretty bead detail on the cabinet. So it's not something you see every day, and it adds a really subtle detail. And I love that this hardware, the knobs have a little back plate that is so pretty when you look up close. Then we have a little landing zone for more styling before you head into the pantry, which is behind this pocket door. So we carried the island color around the outside edges, and then we did a lighter shade of blue on the panels. And you know, we don't gatekeep paint colors, or at least I try not to. This time we used Benjamin Moore Kinfolk and French Blue. It's a perfect pairing to get this tonal look. Over to this amazing sink. So we did an oversized sink that could accommodate 2 pull-down faucets. And so this is actually from my Kohler collection, and I love that we got to show them in this beautiful setting. And this setup allows you to have, you know, an extra helper when you're doing the dishes. On the range wall, the intent was to keep it very classic. So we did a swooped hood with a really pretty molding profile, classic subway tile, but in a textural finish so it catches the light in a really pretty way, and then marble countertops. And then we had the opportunity to change the knobs on the Wolf range, but decided that I loved the hint of red in this kitchen and what it brought. We carried some of that softness into the space by doing a wallpaper on all the walls. We don't have room for a lot of furniture, and so I love a wallpaper to give that interest for us. We did drapes on all windows, and I think that that helps fill out and give some nice softness and layer. And then we have our Romany chair from McGee & Co, as well as these great slip covered in chairs. I want to take you through this hallway study area. So we had a long stretch of space that we turned into a homework area for kids. And then behind that, we did a dog room. I love the color of this room. The bluish green tone is really pretty, and it's a really nice surprise looking at the end of the hallway. It's those details like the oval window and this really pretty color, as well as even the little dog hooks that make this room feel really personal to the family. Instead of doing the Dutch door on the outside of the home, we did it on the inside. So the doggy has a place to hang out and you can peek in, and it keeps things feeling really open. Before you walk into the primary bedroom, there's a vestibule, and we didn't want it to fall flat, so we decorated that as if it was its own space. I love the little ruching detail and the gingham print, and it creates an entire experience in this wing of the home. And then you walk into the room, and we've carried the molding from the foyer into the space on all of the walls. To create a sense of grandeur in this space, we did a canopy bed. This is our Sutherland bed from McGee & Co, and has this really pretty iron contrast against the light walls in the space. And then we did embroidered linens with a monogram detail and kept everything very soft and neutral with a few color accents throughout. Our client wanted 2 areas for seating, and they wanted one of the areas to be wide enough that their kids, if they come in, they can sleep. So we did an extra deep bench at the end of the bed. This was custom made to fit the space. We have the bench at the foot of the bed, and then we had room for a pair of lounge chairs. This is our Lucille lounge chair from McGee & Co, and we did it in our fawn velvet fabric, and a really pretty floral lumbar that ties in those pink tones that you saw in the front of the home. There's a fireplace in the center of the room, and then we have quite a bit of space on either side. And I want to focus on this Tali dresser vignette. So this is from McGee & Co. It has a bleached Burl finish, which is a lighter finish to Burl than you usually see. And it really complements the light neutrals that we have in the rest of this bedroom. And then we've styled it with this kind of purpley pink color that I love. It's an unusual color, and our clients were very open to it. And we took a lamp base, and then we did a custom shade with a block print, and then it even has this contrasting silk trim around the edge. And then this is our Giada mirror from McGee & Co. I love this mirror. I have that in my own home as well. In the primary bathroom, we carried the paneling from the bedroom into this space. And I love this creamy, light paint color that bounces the light off in a really pretty way. We framed out this classic clawfoot tub with drapes and a large chandelier. And then opposite of that, the vanities are so large that we wanted to fill the space behind them. And rather than doing just floating mirrors, we decided to integrate the mirrors into the molding. When you're in this space, It is the most light-filled space in the home. It just bounces off that sunlight in a really beautiful way. Then behind me, we took the arch motif that is in the entryway and a couple of other entry points in their home into the shower by doing a barrel archway from front to back of the shower. And we've done a classic Carrera basket weave on the floors and then done a tile separation with Carrera on the bottom, a molding piece, and then a textured subway tile above. At the top of the stairs, we have open space, the dormers that face the front of the home, and we wanted to make this space feel really intentional but fitting for this family. We did a McGee & Co. rug to center the space, and then really beyond the rug, it is just about picking toys that function well for the family, but also I appreciate that they fit within the color palette of this play space. Right off the playroom is the girls' room, and it is the sweetest space. I think this might be my favorite room in the home. You have this gorgeous vaulted ceiling, but it feels very cozy and charming in here. We have a quilt at the end of the bed that brings all of the colors in the space together. And rather than doing a wallpaper and then pulling a color from the wallpaper, which is a look that we often do, we decided to actually pair two colors together that weren't the obvious choice. So we did this branching coral wallpaper on all of the walls, and then we did a soft green beadboard below, and we tied it into the textiles. We did spindle beds that are symmetrical and made the most of the space by doing tiny little tables on the outside edges of the bed and then a bench between. In the bathroom connected to their bedroom, we have that sagey green color in the bedroom, and then that carries onto the doorways, the casings, and I love that you're creating that contrast look and it feels connected to the bedroom. We customized our mail-in vanity from Kohler with a Carrera top, and then we did a curved marble detail on the backsplash. This is also our Costia collection. We did the wall mounted with the cross handle and finished it off with a large mirror that reflects cute pink tile and a block print shower curtain behind. This house is called the Gable House for a reason, and that gave us the opportunity to build into those to create these beautiful sloped ceilings, which creates a lot of charm. I think it helps make the home feel less like a new build and almost more like a remodel, which I love. We had so much space that we were able to do an island, and rather than match the cabinetry, we almost wanted to treat it like it was a kitchen with a freestanding island between. This is a nice multi-purpose space. It can act as part craft room for kids, an office, and obviously also a laundry room. Thank you so much for joining this tour. It's been so fun to design a home that has all of this traditional charm, but also meets the needs of a growing family. And if you want to see pictures, you can head to studiomcgee.com to see more. And then behind what looks like built-in cabinetry around the desk is actually...
And you can say, breathe, Burt Macklin, FBI.